Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. In my last tutorial I showed you how to make this beaded purse using right angle weave. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make spacer bars using cubic right angle weave. This is a necklace I made, and here are my spacer bars. It's a 4-strand necklace, and all 4 strands go through my spacer bars. They exit out and then they go through a single strand of seed beads, and then I finish it off. Now, these seed beads that I use in this cubic right angle weave, these are A-dot seed beads, and I use 6-pound Fireline. Now, if you use larger beads, you can decorate your cubic right angle weave spacer bars, and it could look like this. Now, this is a bracelet I made using them. These black beads that I used are 3mm rounds, but if you don't have 3mm, you can use 6-aught seed beads. They are pretty much the same. And I'll show you when I go to make one how they are like the same size as these here. You don't notice a difference. So this is the decorated version, and the necklace was the non-decorated version. So you could do as many strands as you want if you continue with the spacer bar. So mine here, I have 3 strands going through it because I have 3 cubes, but you can add a 4th cube and a 5th cube. My necklace is 4 cubes tall. Alright, so traditionally cubic right angle weave has only ever been done with 1 needle and 1 thread. And back when I first learned how to do this, I read how to do it, I think, in a magazine, and then I watched a video on it, and it was really confusing. So if you've watched most of my videos, you should know by now that I like to use both hands, so I figured out how to do it with 2 needles instead of 1, and I like it a lot more. I think it's easier, faster, and it's more fun. So I'm going to do it with 2 needles instead of 1. Here is the list of materials you're going to need to make a cubic right angle weave spacer bar for, say, a 3-strand bracelet. So if you want more strands, you would continue on with your cube, and you would have 4, 5, 6, however many strands you want your bracelet to be. Now, this is just enough to make 1 spacer bar, so you have to multiply this by however many spacer bars you actually want in your design. I'm going to use 3 feet of 8-pound or 10-pound test monofilament. You can use Fireline if you want, and I'm using 28 6-aught seed beads. And to make it easier for you to see what I'm doing, I'm going to do 2 different colors, so it's going to be like in stripes, so you could see what I'm doing. And if you want, you can use 3mm rounds in place of them, which are actually the same exact size as these, or you could do 4mm rounds, which are bigger, so the spacer bar will be larger. Now, you're also going to need 8 8-aught seed beads, or 2mm rounds. I used 2mm rounds, the silver beads, in this bracelet. You're going to need 12 11-0 seed beads and 3 3mm bicones, or you can use montus to decorate the top. I went ahead and colored my ends of my strings with a red and black permanent marker so you can see what I'm doing. Now, I get asked all the time about this. How do I straighten out my string so when I go to bead it's not all curled up and kinks and irritating? All I do is I hold it in one hand and I pull it really fast between my fingers and my other hand. And I keep doing that until it straightens up, just like you would a heating iron for your hair. Now, the first cube is going to be different from the rest of the cubes. So once you get the first cube down, go ahead and start on the second cube. Now, I'm going to start out with my red string. I'm going to pick up 3 6-aught seed beads, a 4th, and I'm going to cross through it. Now I have this. Sometimes you have to tidy up your beads. I'm going to pick up 2 white seed beads on each string, and then a black, and cross through the black. Now we have this. So the black is going to be the bottom, and the white side is going to be the side. So it's actually going to sit up like a chair, almost. Now, whatever I do on one side, I'm going to do on the other. So, think symmetry on this. I just took a beading needle and pinned my work down so you can see what I'm doing. On both strings, I'm going to pick up a black seed bead and then a white seed bead. I'm going to run my string through this black and white seed bead. Make sure that your string is exiting on the back, like this. And now on my other string, I already picked up my beads. I'm going to go through this black seed bead, and then I have to go through this white seed bead. Again, make sure that your string's exiting on the back. Pull it. Now we kind of have this. My strings are exiting out of the white seed beads. So I have to take both strings and make them exit out of the top black seed beads that we had just picked up. Tighten it up. Now I have to pick up a black seed bead and cross through it. Now we have our cube, but our cube needs to be reinforced more because it's not being pulled together right here. So with both strings, I'm going to take and run them both down the white seed beads on opposite sides, pull it through, and then I'm going to take both strings and crisscross them through this black seed bead right here and pull both strings. Pull it snug. I'm going to unpin it. So you could see that we now have one cube formed. This is either the top or the bottom, and the white is going to be the corner. So this is going to be straight, going straight like this. There's going to be stripes of black, white, black, white, black, white. So once you get this down, move on to adding the next cube to your first cube. Now we are ready to do our second cube. Our second cube is going to share this top layer here. So I'm going to start by picking up 2 white seed beads and a black seed bead and cross through that. Now on each string I'm going to pick up a black seed bead and a white seed bead. I'm going to pass my string on both sides through this black seed bead that's already weaved into the first cube and through this white seed bead. And pull it out the back. I'm going to do the same side, the same thing on this side, through this black seed bead in the cube and through the white and pull. Now I'm exiting out of the second beads on the next row out the corners. So for me to be working up, I have to go down both the black seed beads, and then I have to go down the front of the white seed bead here, and I have to go through this white seed bead and exit out the black. So both of them need to be going through the white seed bead on both sides and then crossing through the black and pulling. Tighten it up. Now we have to pass up through both white seed beads, then pick up a black seed bead, cross through that, pull it tight. Now it's starting to make more sense. Now I have to pull all 4 of these beads together because this one is not really connected into these. I'm going to go through the black seed beads here on the sides, then I have to crisscross through this black one. Pull my strings. Nice and snug. And now we have 2 cubes. I'm going to pull my needle out so you can see it. So, it's layers. If you look down here, you can see that the white beads are our corner beads. And then, sandwiched in between the whites are the black seed beads. So now I'm ready to do the 3rd cube. To begin our 3rd cube, I'm going to pick up a white seed bead on each string and cross through a black. Now, after we do the 1st cube, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th cube, they're all going to be the same. That stitch will be the same. It's just the 1st cube that's different from all the rest. So, after that, I now have to pick up a black seed bead on each string and a white on each string. Slide them down. I'm going to take both of my strings, but I'm going to do it one at a time. I'm going to go through the black seed bead here, that's already part of our cube, and out through the white seed bead. Do the same on this side. Pass through the black seed bead, and then through the white. Pull it. Now I have to take both needles and go through the black seed bead on the top. Pull it out. And now I have to pass both needles through the white seed bead and then crisscross through the black seed bead here in the front. Pull. Now go up the white seed bead on each side. Pick up my last seed bead. Cross through. Pull it down. And now we have to pass through these beads here to pull it together. Do the same with this side for my red string. Through this black. Pull nice and tight. So now we have 3 cubes, we have 1, 2, 3 holes. So if you want to make your spacer bars larger, you would continue the 2nd and 3rd cube, which are the same exact. You would continue doing that. And remember, the 1st cube is the one that is different from the rest, because that's the beginning. So once you're done with this, we're now ready to decorate it. Okay, this is going to be really easy. All we have to do is pick up an 11-aught seed bead on each string, pick up the bicone or the Monty. You might be able to get away with doing Monties and having no seed beads, but I haven't tried it with Monties yet, so I don't know. Now cross to that bicone, pick up a seed bead on each string, and we are going to cross through this 6-aught seed bead right here with both strings. And this just sits on top here. Sometimes you may have to fiddle with the seed beads to make sure they don't fall into these gaps. And then again, 1 seed bead on each string. Pick up a bicone and cross through it. 1 seed bead on each string. Cross through the next black 11-aught seed bead. Pull it nice and snug. Do the same thing again. One on each string. Pick up bicone, cross through that. One on each string, seed bead. Then cross through the last 6-aught seed bead here at the end. Pull it nice and snug. Make sure that your 11-aughts aren't falling into these gaps. Now we are going to fill in the gaps here on the side. So I got my 8-aught seed beads, and I'm going to pick up one at a time, and I'm going to exit out this bead. I'm going to be going through this white seed bead here, and it's going to sit in that gap. Pick up another one, go through this white seed bead, pop that 8-0 in, go through the next, that pops in that hole. I'm going to pick up another and go through this one right here. And then I'm going to take the same string and go down this 6-aught seed bead because I have to work my way to the bottom. I'm going to take my other string and do the same exact thing. Pick up an 8-aught, go through the 6-aught seed bead right here. And sometimes it's a little tricky to just go through the 6-aught seed bead. So whenever I have a hard time with that, I just grab the tweezers and pull that through. I'm going to pick up another 6 or 8-aught seed bead and go through the next one. And again, if you have a hard time going through there, just grab it with your tweezers. Went through that one. I'm going to pick up another 8-aught seed bead. Go through my last. Pick up another 8-aught. Go through this 6-aught seed bead. You may have to move the other 8-aught out of the way. Pull that through. Then I have to pass down this 6-aught seed bead so that now both of them are exiting out the top. So we have achieved it. We decorated the top and now we are ready to knot off the bottom. Now, see how we added the 8s right in here? I did do that on the bottom, and then when I went to go tie knots, it was a nightmare. So since this isn't really being seen and this is just the decorative top, I'm not going to decorate the bottom because tying knots are a problem in the bottom. So to tie our knots, exiting on the black seed beads, we have to go through this black 6-aught on the top with both strings, and then take both strings and go down your first 6-aught seed bead on both sides. And now I figured that to tie the knots, it's best if you take either tweezers or pliers, chain nose, bent nose, don't matter. Grab the very end and bend it like this. Then we have this shape right here. Now, when we go to tie the knot, if you look, get my camera to zoom, right in here, you'll see the thread paths. We are going to go under this thread right here and up through the hole. Pull it out, make a loop and go through the loop twice. And then pull your knot right here. Pull it on down. And do the same with the other thread. Bend the string so it's not straight, so we could pass it up through the bottom. So that's done. Go through that spot right here. Now go through your loop twice. Tie your knot right here. Now you can pass both strings through a 6/0 . And pull it snug, and your knots will kind of go away. Now I have to go through this next 6/0. I'm going to do this on both sides. I'm going to tie another knot. It's going to be my last knot. I'm going to go through this little gap right here. Turn my string up so it goes up to the hole. Make a loop and go through it twice. Pull my knot down and do the same on this side. Go through those little threads right there. Up through the hole. Make your loop. Go through it twice. Pull it on down. And now pass both of your strings through this 6/0 seed bead. And then go through this white 6/0, through the black, through the white. Take your other string, go down through this white, through the black, through the white, and then, if you can, pass your string back through this black 6/0 seed bead in the middle. Pull your strings, and then we can snip our strings off. Now make several of these, as many as you want for a bracelet and as many as you want for your necklace. Here's another idea. Instead of using this as a spacer bar in your bracelet or necklace, you could take a chain like this one and take the jump ring off the end or whatever finding you have at the end and pass it, maybe you have a snake chain like this one, pass it through the top side and out the other, and now you have a pendant. So if you're someone who likes really dainty jewelry, or you want to make a Christmas present that's simple and easy and fast, you could do a tiny little pendant just like this and slide it onto a chain, and there's a little necklace. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Bright Angle Weave has so many possibilities. I've probably used it in most of my tutorials, and you haven't even realized it. So, thanks for watching. Subscribe to me if you haven't yet. I'll make more videos. Like this video, comment down below. Friend me on Facebook, show me what you've made, and I'll be on to my next tutorial. Thanks again. Goodbye, guys.